Okay, if we want this setup, by the way, we're going to have to get focused. All right, not all little chit chat off to the side here. What we're doing today is stuff you did in Algebra 1 your freshman year. Graph a line and shade. We kind of remember that. Yes, maybe graph a line and shade it up or down. But we're going to do two at a time. So I just want to get you exposed to doing one of them first. So I'm asking you to graph this inequality. Now, probably your freshman year, you remember trying to get y by itself. We don't need to do that. I don't want you to do that, in fact, try to get y by itself. If you're going to graph a line, the only thing you need is 2 points to graph a line. That's it. Not multiple, not 3, 4, just 2. Here's how I'm going to have you guys find the 2 points to graph on this line. You're going to first find what's called the X intercept, and then we're going to find what's called the Y-intercept. Basically, where's this line going to cross the x-axis, and where's this line going to cross the y-axis? It's a very, very easy process. This is why I'm showing you this way. If you want to find the x-intercept, you plug in 0 for the y value. And you tell me what x is equal to now. So I'm going to do 3x minus 5 times 0. And I'm going to disregard the inequality and just put an equal there. Equal to 15. What basically happens here when you multiply it by 0? It gets wiped out. It's wiped out. And you end up with 3x equals 15. So my x value here is 5. So there's 1 point on my line I'm going to graph in a second. Now find the y-intercept. What do you think I'm going to do here? Put 0 in for x now, yeah, and solve for y. 3 times 0 minus 5y equals 15. Again, I like plugging the 0 in because it just totally wipes it out. Wipes that left side out. You get negative 5y equals 15. So my y-intercept will be negative 3. All right, so I know the 2 points. You got a line now. You got a line. So what I'd like you to do right now is share the rulers. Go over to your piece of graph paper I provided and draw up an XY axis for me. Draw an XY axis, please.
So is all we have to know now, like, is just to like make that sign, like the greater than 15 sign equal?
Well, we're not even close to done, Libby. We're not even close to done with this problem.
That's what you did originally.
To find the 2 points on the line, that's what I'm doing, yes.
Okay.
All right, but we're far from done here. So here we go, make an XY axis for me. Once you have them, graph your 2 points now. 5, 0. That's on the x-axis. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 0, negative 3 on the y. 1, 2, 3. Don't do a darn thing after, please. Just plot them. Anybody remember from the freshman year days what I need to worry about next?
No.
When I'm ready to draw this line in?
I don't.
Dashed versus solid line.
Oh,
Dashed versus solid.
It's dashed because it doesn't have a line.
If it has the or equal to, it's solid. If it doesn't, it's dashed. And if I give you rulers to use them. All right? Don't freehand this thing. Let's go. So a dashed line going through those 2 points.
Why isn't my line normal?
Last thing, shading. To above or below. Here's how I'm going to have you guys determine where to shade. You are going to test the easiest point to test on this graph. 0, 0, correct. Now, what the heck am I talking about when I say test 0, 0? You plug in 0 for X, 0 for Y, and you tell me if this inequality is true or false. So here we go. 3 times 0 minus 5 times 0. Yes or no, less than 15.
Yes.
I get 0 on the left side. Is 0 less than 15? Hopefully we can be confident in that answer, and that is yes. So what that is telling you is 0, 0 is a solution, which means I need to shade it. So should I be shading above or below this line now? Above, because 0, 0 is a solution. It needs to be shaded. And you don't need to get crazy. Shade above.
Can you use colored pencil?
That's where you can use your colored pencils now, yes. So any point, if you pick any point in your shaded region, it's an answer to that inequality. Okay, there's just not one single answer. It's all the points that are shaded. Anything you want to ask before we do 2 on the same graph? This is not where I want to be at all. This is not where I want to be. We're starting to get there though. All right, when I do 2 on the same graph, where's my answer going to be? Anybody remember from your freshman days? I got 2 to graph. They're going to go, I got 2 to graph and they're all going to go on 1. I'm not doing 2 separate graphs. So these 2 are going to go all on this graph.
Oh, okay.
All right, and where's my answer going to be? Where they overlap, correct. The shaded regions overlap. So here we go. Let's take 1 at a time. 2x minus 5y less than or equal to 10. Find your intercepts. Plug in 0 for x, and then plug in 0 for y, and we'll talk what numbers we should have got out. -2 for your y, 5 for your x. Hopefully you're getting out. -2 for your y-intercept, 5 for your x-intercept. Make your axes when you're ready. What type of line?
Solid.
Solid line here. Solid line. Ready to, how we doing, okay? Ready to test 0, 0 so we know where to shade. There is an instance where you can't use 0, 0, but I'm not going to talk about it till we actually encounter it. You just keep testing 0, 0. 2 times 0 minus 5 times 0. Is that less than or equal to 10? Is 0 less than or equal to 10? Yes, no? So that means 0, 0 has to be shaded. So where do you want me to go, up or down? Up or down the shading? Up. Here you go. One down, 1 to go. Okay, next one. 3x minus 2y is greater than 6. Find your intercepts. And what type of line here? Dotted, dash, whatever you call it. Yep, got to have a dotted line here. 0, -3. 2, 0 with the dashed line. Everyone's all right? Test a point. Three times 0 minus 2 times 0 greater than 6. Oh, what about this one? Zero greater than 6?
No.
No. So guess what? I don't want to shade 0, 0 on this line because it's not a solution. So on this dashed line, let me go right or left here this time. Right or left? Right. Yep. I want to shade to the right and see where my shaded regions overlap. And hopefully it's obvious to you. Everyone see that little V looking figure there where the shaded regions overlap? From your 9th grade days, what do I got to put there?
S.
Oh, look at that. Nice bold S for me. That says anywhere in any point in here is a solution. Nice bold S for me. Anywhere in there is a solution.
So if you have like a vertical line, then it's like left to right. Right? So it's
Well, you can say up, wherever you want to, however you want to say it. I just want you to shade it correctly. I don't care what you call it.
No, I know. I'm saying like you have like a perfect like.
You should probably go right or left. Yeah. One more thing. Not fully complete yet. And I did not have to worry about it on the last one. I only graphed 1 on the last one. Now I'm graphing 2. Yes, at least one of them, Tomer. At least one of them you need to label. So anytime you do 2 or more, you at least need to label one of them. All right? Because you don't need to label the other one. We already, process of elimination, you know which one it is. So label at least one of them with the inequality. Any questions? Because I got to show you special types of lines now. Anything you want to ask? Shading, intercepts. Okay. Let's talk about special lines then. Notice it doesn't have an X. It doesn't have an X and a Y in it. Just an X. So if it just has an X in it, it won't be diagonal anymore. It'll be X, just X.
Straight.
They're all straight.
Vertical.
Sorry. I
Wait,
meant,
X.
right
Oh, wait, you
here.
know what I mean.
No, I don't. They're all straight,
Like,
Molly. All
horizontal.
lines are straight.
Horizontal. Yeah.
No.
Vertical.
No, on to like down. Which way's vertical?
Vertical. Okay, horizon, horizontal.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
X by itself is vertical.
Oh, I was wrong too.
Y by
I was
itself,
thinking vertical.
that's
That's horizontal.
horizontal line.
Because it's opposite. It is. Because vertical.
So there's no intercepts to find. There's none. You're going to have a vertical line going through +2 and a horizontal line going through -1. Set up your XY axes. What are you going to tell me about both these lines? Solid, dashed?
They're both solid.
Both solid. All right, let's start with the vertical line then. Vertical line going through 2 on the x-axis. Vertical line going through 2 on the x-axis. There you go. Let's talk about shading. You can still test 0, 0. You're just not going to plug in both zeros, right? Is 0 less than or equal to 2?
Yeah.
0 less than 2? So you better shade it. So left or right here?
Left.
There you go. And then your other solid line, horizontal going through -1. Still plugins, you could still plug in 0. 0, is it greater than or equal to -1?
Yeah.
Great. Is 0. Oh.
0 greater than or equal to -1?
Yeah.
Yep. So you better shade it. So we going up or down here? Up. And then we should see our, I don't want to do that. So we see our little quadrant of solutions there. Little rectangle square looking figure. Part of it anyway.
S. Big fat S.
One more thing. Label at least one of them. Label at least one of them, yep. X vertical, Y horizontal. Anything. I got one more special type before we get into the big dog. We sure going? Anything?
Yeah.
All right, how about this bad boy here? First thing, what's the only variable I see? What's that tell you from our last graph? This is going to be vertical, right? Vertical. But you're going to have 2 vertical lines. One at -2 and one at 5. And then we'll talk about shading when we get there. I see the X right here. That's vertical. So I'm going to have 2 vertical lines, one at -2 and one at 5. Just do your X and Y axes, please. Be careful here. When you go to -2 and do a vertical line, what type should it be? Solid, but when you go to 5, dashed. Yeah, see that? We're going to have a solid one at -2, a dashed one at 5. Woo! So let's get that solid one in there at -2. Dashed at 5.
So when you test me, you just test both.
You don't need to test. Notice where the X is, in between -2 and 5. So I want you to shade where? Everywhere in between -2 and 5, those lines. And I can tell you, I'm not going to have you ever shade outside. All right, that X will always be in between. So yes, I'm going to have you shade in between. No need to label because it's only one. This is just one inequality, and that's it. All right, there's no need to label. How about that one, huh?
You still have to put an S in the middle.
No, you only got one set of shading, right? Am I going to take off if you do? No.
I'm gonna do it every time.
Any questions before we get trying to stall before we get to this last one here? Yeah, this is no joke. This last one. Everything we've been doing so far, hate to break it to you, it's Algebra 1 stuff. Now we raise it to the pre-calc level right now on this last one. Okay? And I'm not trying to get you scared, but look, just, hey, to look at, it's just 4 of them. Right? It's 4. Instead of 2, there's 4 of them. And I got to know where all 4 are going to intersect on their shading to put an S there. All right? So let's take the first one. This is nothing. You guys can handle this, no problem. It's just all of them together now. Freaks us out. 3x plus y less than or equal to 6. And so I don't have to ask 4 different times. All these lines here are going to be what? All 4 lines I'm going to graph are going to be solid. All right, so get that in our mind so I don't have to ask all the time. Go ahead, find your intercepts first for this first one.
So the y, 0 goes first, x.
I don't care which one you do first.
No. I'm saying the 0 goes ahead of the first thing. Yeah.
I'm not too sure what you're saying, but.
It's like the 0 is before the comma.
Or after.
Yeah, no,
Depending
I
on what
know.
you're finding. 6. 2. All right, let's throw it up here. Solid line. Hopefully you're not getting ahead of me because I'm not going to do something we usually do here. Everyone all right with the graphing of the line? Straight edges, please. We're all good? 0, 6, 2, 0. Okay, test the point. Here we go. Test 0, 0. Three times 0 plus 0, is that less than or equal to 6? Is 0 less than or equal to 6? Yes, no?
Yes.
Don't shade, though. Do not shade. I'll explain why right now. So everything's good. So if I had you shade, where would you shade? Left or the right? Left. Okay. Here's why I'm not going to have you shade. You're going to have to shade 4 different ones, correct? And I can probably guarantee by the time we're done, you'll probably have this whole thing colored in. All right, you'll probably have it colored in and be like, where is my shaded region? All right, 4 different colors going crazy. So when you have something like this, don't shade until we see where it is at the end. So right now, everybody told me I'm going to shade to the left, right? Keep your focus there. Everyone agrees, I'm not going to put an S anywhere up here at the end, am I? It's going to be somewhere over here. Now we're going to make this area here smaller and smaller and smaller as we graph the next 3. Okay, that's my goal, is to figure out, okay, it is here right now, but after we graph this one, now my only option is here. And that window is going to get smaller and smaller. Okay? So let's go ahead and graph the next one. 2x minus y less than or equal to -1. So I at least know my solution is going to be somewhere to the left of that line. Let's make that window a little smaller now. And don't freak out, you're going to get a fraction here. It's okay. Make sure when you plug 0 in for x, you're dividing that negative out of the y. Everyone all right? -1/2 for your x-intercept. It's okay. -1/2. Graph it as best you can. I'm not going to be critical of you guys. Do it as best you can. Oh, geez, that's a tight squeeze there. There we go. Solid line. Ready for your test? 2 times 0 minus 0. Is that less than or equal to -1? Is 0 less than or equal to -1? No, it's not. Okay, ready? So this line here, I don't want 0, 0 to be a part of it. So should I be shading to the left or to the right of this line? I don't want 0, 0 to be a part of it. So I got to shade to the left. Okay, everyone ready now? Remember my window was all here? Now I'm shading to the left. Do you see how it got a little smaller? Now it's just right here. All good? All right, so I at least know my solution is going to be somewhere here now. All right, I'm getting small, and it's going to get even smaller real quick when we do the next one. But are we okay? I just don't want you guys to shade because this whole thing's going to be filled up. So right here is possible solutions. Next up, X. What type of line? Let's go. Vertical. I don't even have to do intercepts at -2. Oh, yeah. Come on, let's go. Dig deep. Finish here strong. Vertical through -2 right here. Plug in 0 to test. Is 0 greater than or equal to -2?
Yes.
We got to get out the old number line and we're all good? Yes? All right, here's my vertical line. Where are you going to shade it? Right or the left?
Right.
To the right.
0, 0 is a solution.
Oh, right.
Right or left here?
Right.
To the right. Do we see how small we got the window now? It was right here, right? But now I'm shading to the right. Everyone see where my possible solution would be now? I'll shade it, but it's not correct yet. That's it. And I'm not even done yet. I'm going to make that even smaller. But does everyone see how I narrowed this whole graph down to this region?
Yes.
We all good?
Yes.
Before I narrow it down one more time. Molly, what's up?
If we wanted to, could we use like?
You can. Yeah, you can. I just don't want you to get like so overwhelmed with all the colors and everything, and you have no idea where it all overlaps. But you could probably get away with it. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. And then the last one, horizontal or vertical line here. Horizontal going through 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, remember that triangle I had? It's about to get smaller when you tell me where I should shade here. All right, plug in 0. Is 0 less than or equal to 4?
Yeah.
Yes?
It's less than 4.
First question, shade below or above the horizontal line then if 0 was good?
Above. Wait, below.
Right here, above or below?
Below.
Below. Everyone remember my triangle, my big one I had before? Everyone just see how it got smaller? Do you see the area I'm going to need now? Here you go. Right here. And most of these problems we do, almost all of them, you're going to end up making a shape at the end that's going to be filled in. All right, I can tell you, if I'm going to ask you to do four of these, there's no way it's going to be like way out here or way up here. It's going to be one of the shapes that you end up making. And there's a reason, because what we have coming up will involve that. So there it is.
Is that little like corner included? Like
Everything, here you go, let me outline it.
oh, I added
Here, 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 and back.
my triangle doesn't look the same. It's okay. It's just different.
And before we call it a weekend, well, if you did all the shading, you need to put an S, but I already know where it is, so
Oh.
no need for an S. But you can, I'm not going to penalize you for putting an S there. I just don't need it because it's the only place I'm shading. But I still need what? Okay, how many did you graph? 4, so you need at least 3. You need at least 3 labels on it. So quickly just label it here for me.
I didn't write. It's
I
just
feel like it's a little
different than
after.
everyone else's. Can I see it?
Like after you make the line.
No.
It's your call.
I'm not gonna judge. I thought that we were friends and I was. One of them, I grabbed one of them slightly a little weirder. Like, forgive me. I wasn't asking for them. What were you asking for?
And I would appreciate it if you don't leave everything at your table because my next class is not using them. So if you want to put them back, rulers included, that'd be great. Thank you. Please behave this weekend.
Why? Because it's a Super Bowl, baby.
Or just in general.
Who are you rooting for?